Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Let's start roll call. Commissioner President. We are
Deborah's here observing. She was kind enough to like jump on the meeting and kind of watch with us because she doesn't have her bond yet. She's unable to vote. Yeah, but I'll introduce her formally as part of my report and let her introduce herself and give us a little bit of her bio. It's just we're working on the application. It's just that's part of the state law for commissioners. So thanks.
Okay, but David's already bonded, so everybody else is okay, right?
Everybody else is good.
All right, let's. Okay, so I was just explaining that to you, so you'll know. So let's go with the roll call. Commissioners present. I, Don Griffin.
Cindy Canarney's here.
Nick Kappas is here, barely.
David Walter is here.
Okay, staff present.
Tina Finley, hand department.
Okay.
Brent Pierce is here, hand department.
Larry Allen Legal.
Okay. Let's go on to the reading of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for the meeting and the executive summary on February the 16th, 2021?
This is David Walter. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for February 16th and also the executive summary for February 16th.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'm Nick Kappas, seconds.
All in favor? Aye, Don Griffin.
Cindy Canarney, yes.
Nick Kappas, yes.
David Walter, yes.
None opposed, so the motion does carry. Examination of claims. Is there a motion to approve the claims register for February the 19th, 2021?
Cindy Canarney motions we accept the claims register for February 19th, 2021.
David Walter seconds that motion.
All in favor? Aye, Don Griffin.
Cindy Canarney, yes.
Nick Kappas, yes.
David Walter, yes.
None opposed, so the motion does carry. Examination of payroll registers. Is there a motion to approve the payroll register for February the 12th, 2021?
This is David Walter. I'll make a motion to accept payroll registers.
Cindy Canarney seconds.
All in favor? Aye, Don Griffin.
Cindy Canarney, yes.
Nick Kappas, yes.
David Walter, yes.
None opposed, the motion carries. Next, we'll have reports of officers and committees. Is there a director's report? No, we're good. Where's our director? Is he on here?
Hey, this is Brent Pierce. I'm sorry, and I apologize. I'm actually in my car, but no, I don't have a director's report for the meeting tonight. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Is there a legal report?
Yeah, I just have two quick items. One item is a maintenance item that I just wanted to alert you all to since it was over the dollar limit under the funding authorization resolution that you all give for maintenance. We did contract with VET Environmental to do some environmental testing at the mill. I just wanted to alert you all to that. There's just been a bit of an odor in an office that we're trying to get nailed down to make sure that it's a perfectly habitable office for everybody who's in there and that they can use. David Walter has on the appointments, as always, and also announced our newest we're working through, I mentioned earlier, Jennifer Myers going to give to the commission. Let's get it away. Or Jeff Underwood couldn't make it tonight, but I'm happy to answer any questions should the commission have them.
Is there a CTP update report that you know of, Larry?
There's no update. Same with Alex, though. If any of you have any questions, I'm happy to.
Okay. All right. So thank you for your reports, Larry. Let's go on to new business. The first item of business is resolution 21-13, approval of change order for West 17th Street reconstruction project.
Good evening, Matt Smellers with the engineering department. This change order covers 2 additional driveways that we reworked, did concrete driveways on 2 approaches there. There's also additional traffic control signage rental that was due to the delays caused by utility relocations and the rock excavation. And then the last item was additional nursery sod. We were over our estimated quantity on sod, so this would cover that overage. The change order would result in an increase to the contract of $15,031.20. This project is TIF funded and the city would be reimbursed through an NDOT interlocal agreement. And the change order is on the Board of Public Works agenda for tomorrow evening. I can answer any questions you may have.
So 100%. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. You David, before.
Yeah, I have a question. The driveway entrances, those are all on public right-of-way, not private property, correct?
Right, both of those are in city right of way.
And the existing ones were damaged or non-existent or due to the construction work?
The plan set had all of the driveways that were previously paved being redone in concrete. These 2 approaches were paved, but I would say they weren't professionally paved. So the plan set just showed them as being gravel, but they actually had some form of pavement on them. So we went ahead and redid both of those approaches since they were paved, just not very well.
Okay, well, I'm just pleased that the road is open and people are using it now.
Yes, it looks pretty nice now. So,
Yep, that's all my comments.
Do we have public comment in regards to resolution 21-13? Don't see anything. Any other comments from commissioners in regards to resolution? Oh, go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Just a question about the additional nursery sodding.
Sure.
For quantity purposes, what is 1,114? Is that square feet?
that'd be square yards.
Square yards?
Yes.
It's a lot.
Yes. That is a big project. So there's originally over 6,000 square yards estimated.
Okay, and this is just grass, right?
Yes, it's grass.
Okay. And this is just the overage amount that you underestimated?
Well, there was a slight error, I guess you could call it, on the plan set. The plans called for all the disturbed areas to be sodded, which that included areas outside of the right-of-way. After the overage was discovered, we went back and talked to the design consultant, and when they did the estimate, they just estimated all the areas inside of the right-of-way and did not include those areas outside of the right-of-way. So that's where the overage came from.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, or can I have a motion?
This is Cindy Canarney. I make a motion, we accept resolution 21-13.
This is David Walter. I'll second that motion.
All those in favor? Aye. Don Griffin.
Cindy Canarney, yes.
Nick Kappas, yes.
David Walter, yes.
None opposed, so the motion does carry. The next item of business is resolution 21-14, approval of Duke Energy easement in the 4th Street garage.
I can speak to this. Our next three resolutions actually will deal with parking garage constructions. This one is because of the expansion of the 4th Street garage, it was necessary for Duke Energy to remove some transmission lines and a transformer that formerly was in a grassy area right behind the garage. This will now be located inside of the garage, and so it was necessary for them to obtain a new easement. They vacated their prior easements to the extent that those are applicable. And this easement is for basically an enclosure for the transformer within the new 4th Street garage.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the public in regards to resolution 21-14? Get that out of the way. And Deborah, since you're brand new, and I guess for the audience, we in our documents, we made a change a couple of years back where we allow the public time for questioning on each of our resolutions. So that's when you hear me doing this. That's what we're doing. Sometimes we actually get questions, but for every resolution that we have, we ask the public if they have any questions in regards to the resolutions. So, all right. So it doesn't sound like we have any questions from the public in regards to resolution 21-14. So do we have any questions, folks? Are we good? Okay.
This is David Walter. I'll make a motion to accept resolution 21-14.
Cindy Canarney seconds.
All those in favor, aye. Don Griffin.
Cindy Canarney, yes.
Nick Kappas, yes.
David Walter, yes.
None opposed. The motion does carry. Next item of business is resolution 21-15, approval of agreement for the EV Connect for charging stations for the 4th Street garage.
Happy to also talk about this. I see that our parking director, Michelle Wall, is also on the call, so if she has anything to add, she can correct me in whatever fallacies that I may have about the EV charging stations. As you all may be aware, or for some of you new members, so before the garages were approved, there were a list of requirements for each garage. For both the Trades District garage and the 4th Street garage, there was a minimum number of EV charging stations or the ability to plug in, so parking spots that were reserved in each garage. The Trades District garage specifically called for 6, the ability to charge 6 cars, and this is to purchase that EV charging equipment. This is for 5 charging stations, but each of those charging stations charge 2 cars each. So essentially we have 10 spots that'll be reserved for electric cars to be able to charge. This is also from the vendor that the city has gone with in the past. So you'll see we're addending the existing agreement with EV Connect, who has been our provider. They were sought out in a public bid, and they were chosen a few years ago. And just to keep all of our technology consistent and the same, it was decided that this was the best route to go. I'll also note, so there's a total here for both the equipment, the installation, and the service agreement of $38,285. Some of this, the city of Bloomington received a grant from IDEM in the amount of $18,000 to cover the cost of 2 EV charging stations, one in the Trades District and one in the 4th Street garage. So some of this will be reimbursed back to the project from IDEM. One of the things that we're making sure that we nail down is that the warranty provision qualifies for the IDEM grant. So that's the only thing that's kind of lingering out there from this agreement. But this is for those charging stations to get them installed and up and running in the Trades District garage.
Larry, is there also a servicing agreement along with this?
Yeah, this includes the servicing agreement as well. So that EV Connect will service it. There's also, a warranty we went for a 3-year warranty on their labor and the parts for the install here.
How long is the servicing agreement?
I want to say it was 5 years. But as I recall that, I think we're prepaying for 5 years, and then there's an option to continue it under the agreement. The agreement's kind of open-ended for as long as we want to maintain it.
And what's the useful life on the equipment, Larry? Do you know?
You know, I don't know that offhand. I know that maybe Michelle can speak to that. I want to say that we were talking about a 10-year useful life to the equipment, but honestly, I'm a little fuzzy on that detail. I'm happy to, if no one else on the call has that, I'll get that for you, Cindy, and
Okay.
report it back to you. And I don't mean to be so informal by using your first name. Sorry, if you prefer Commissioner.
No. No, I answered to either.
Okay. All right. Any more questions? From oh, go ahead, Nick.
I do. So, when I went on the tour of the trades district garage, they made mention that the entire garage is actually wired to go EV all the way through, in the need to do so. And so if we're going to stay with this company, EV Connect, are we going to continue to see the same kind of agreement? My question really revolves around what's the best possible, most cost-effective way to get these charging stations in. If we got 10, but then all of a sudden next year, we actually need 20. So is it every year we're going to be doing like $40,000?
I don't think it'll be every year. So Ryan Daly is our parking garage manager, and he has been closely monitoring the use of all of our EV stations. Currently, actually, we provide more stations than we have demand for use, actually, in our garages. We have one that's used on a fairly regularly basis almost all the time. However, outside of that one particular charging station, Ryan is making sure that we set up. So this expansion in these two garages will probably give us some wiggle room. But you're right, instead of it actually saying that the whole garage is wired for it, what we did is we ran conduits so that we can expand the wiring to do this. And I think we would probably do this in chunks. So as we see the demand and be able to measure the demand for these types of EV charging station as that grows, then we'll try to do this on a level of scale, so that we could, do the cost savings. And also, if it becomes necessary, of course, we would open it up to bid again if we needed to come with a new technology, if there's some new hot thing, wireless charging for your car or something like that.
I mean, they've got supercharging stations now, and so that's just one of those things where, making sure that we're continuing to have the correct infrastructure for the new renewables, you know what I mean, or sustainability.
And I know that was one of the things considered here as well, which is this garage in particular is geared towards the job growth within the trades district, and so the charging stations actually kind of fit that model of someone driving to work and leaving their car charged in all day, as opposed to a supercharging station where it's trying to get you a quick 15-minute charge or something like that. But yeah, that's an excellent point, and I'm sure that's something we're going to be monitoring.
Thanks, Larry.
All right. Any other questions? And Larry, I think you're right. I think that the charging, the one I'm thinking of, I think that's a city vehicle is usually on that charging thing. Am I right?
I'm not sure. I just know that Ryan reported that we have one that's a frequent flyer. I think his hypothesis is if it's not being used by a city vehicle, it was being used perhaps by just someone that either works in that area or lives very close to it. And it's not very convenient to use that as their main charger.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the public in regards to Resolution 21-15? It's 15, isn't it? Yes. I don't see anything, so I think we're ready for a motion.
This is David Walter. I just thought of a question here. I had to stop and put some air in my tires. It was $1.50. I presume that when you plug into these charging stations, that they take Visa or MasterCard or coins.
I believe actually that we provide these free of charge as part of the parking services. So to encourage people to drive electric vehicles, this is one of the perks that you get, is that you can just hook up your car when you're parked in the city of Bloomington garage. Now, does the garage charge? I think we have all found that they absolutely do. As we mentioned, I think last week, there are no special perks even for city employees on the public parking garages. But if you drive an electric vehicle, these are available to you anytime you park in one of our parking garages.
I see. So you pay your fee when you come through the gate, and then you can plug in and leave it charging. That makes sense.
That's exactly right. And I would also note that, this is one of the reasons why we also push for a broader solar panel array on the top, is to try to cover some of these electricity needs in the greenest way possible for the garages.
Man, that's a good perk. If I work for the city, I'm getting myself an electric car. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, my daughter works for Ford. She's going to get a Mustang.
Okay.
If she would like to distribute those to the city, we'd welcome them.
Yeah, that Mach-E is very nice.
It is very nice. It is very nice. All right. Do we have a motion?
This is David Walter. I make a motion to accept Resolution 21-15.
Cindy Canarney seconds.
Don Griffin. No, all in favor? Aye, Don Griffin.
Cindy Canarney, yes.
And Kappas, yes.
David Walter, yes.
None opposed. The motion does carry. The last item of business is Resolution 21-12, approval of agreement with Station 43 Designs for signs in the Trades District parking garage. Is there anyone present that wants or needs to speak briefly about this bid?
I think I'm going to go for the meeting grand slam here. So this is for wayfinding signs and indication signs for the Trade District garage again. So these are the signs that tell you where to go, where to park, and I think that that's part of the contract here. So as you can see, this is part of our public works type of contract that we're having, because this is a construction of our public works. This contract is for $14,905. Also, with these last two contracts, I should mention that there is some budget flexibility here to take this out of either the garage bonds, so the Trades District garage bonds 983 account, or the consolidated TIF in the downtown area, just to make sure that we are still on budget for our garage construction.
Okay. Any questions from the public in regards to Resolution 21-12? No? How about any questions from redevelopment commissioners?
Got to have signs.
Well, we could just not have signs, and then they could just drive around Bloomington, figure out where they want to go, see all the sites.
All right, we're gonna, yeah. All right, so I guess, do we have a motion?
This is Cindy Canarney. I make a motion, we accept Resolution 21-16.
This is David Walter. I'll second that motion.
All those in favor? Aye, Don Griffin.
Cindy Canarney, yes.
Kappas, yes.
David Walter, yes.
None opposed. The motion carries. Hey, I'm sorry. You're right. It was 21-16, not 12. I don't know where I got that from. I'm sorry. But yes, the motion does carry. All right. Do we have any other discussion, general business, anything to discuss?
Just a note of sadness here. I see that Doris Jimson's daughter passed away. And I talked with Doris several times about progression of her daughter illness, and It was in this morning's paper, a very nice obituary about all the wonderful things that she had done over the years. So I think with Redevelopment Commission that our sympathy goes out to both Doris and to Jim Sims.
Yeah.
And the entire Sims family. Incredibly heartbreaking.
Yep. She was she's a beautiful person with a beautiful smile all the way. Yeah, she's going to be missed. I think she's a year younger than me. Yeah. Thank you for that, David.
And congratulations to Dave and Deborah. This is going to be a fun year.
Yes, it will be. Yeah, thank you. So I guess let's call for adjournment. Does anybody have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn. Second.
All in favor? Aye. And I'll see you all real soon.
All right.
Everybody.
Take care.
All right. Have a good one.